So my internet ended up disconnecting yet again. Don't know what's going on with my internet today. Well, even then, I don't even think it's the internet that's the issue here. It's like I would know when my internet drops because my iPad would drop, and I always keep my iPad next to me. And whenever I'm live streaming, I keep the YouTube app open so I can actually see my chat and whatnot. So I know for a fact that my internet did not drop. So I'm trying to figure out why is everything still disconnecting. Share these links around again because I have to let people know that there's an entirely new live stream up. Thank you, Twitter, for taking a million years to do what I want. I need to get me a new iPad. I need to get me a new iPad, a new laptop, a new everything. But if it disconnects again, then I guess that's just going to be the end of the live stream for today. All right. What? It's a baby. That's so disturbing. This here is a new species of Petaluda we recently set loose. It has been doing very well, managing to maintain a stable existence thus far. If it can see its observation period to the end without issue, we shall release it unto the world. Tell me, do you know the difference between living beings and arcane entities? It is the presence of a soul, yet the soul is something you can choose to have at will. No, it manifests only in those beings whose forms adhere to the laws of creation, that can endure on their own. Beings that do not fulfill this requirement, such as those spontaneously born of magic or natural phenomena, do not have souls. No matter how much it might resemble flora or fauna, if it lacks a soul, then it is considered an arcane entity. So you see, it is not for mankind to decide what is living. That domain lies beyond our manipulation, and it is hubris to assume otherwise. Ow. But come, let us head to the nearby beacon. I received report that arcane entities have gathered there. Ah yes, lightning pneuma, just as the report said. Although we call this structure a beacon due to its form, it is in fact a magical device. By manipulating the balance of elements, it keeps the isle airborne and maintains the climate thereupon. In the course of its operation, it often sees an internal shift towards a given element. Right now that element is lightning, which draws the pneuma here to replenish their ether. It appears Meteon is busy. Would you care to assist me in our stead and feed the pneuma? By using this lightning converter, you can harness ambient lightning and focus it into a ball, a veritable feast for our dabbling friends. Go on, give it a try. Perfectly done, Yami. Look. See how they gather to feed, how they express themselves through their actions despite their lack of words? Speech is not the sole defining characteristic of a thinking, feeling creature, nor is silence an indication that they do not possess these qualities. Be it a soulless arcane entity such as the Numa, or an ephemeral life form such as the Petaluda, all seek to perpetuate their existence, to survive. Is Meteon an arcane entity? A good question. I can answer it from a theoretical standpoint, but it ultimately falls to the Bureau of the Architect to pass judgment. Those with exceptional vision, such as Hythlodaeus, may be able to ascertain her true nature. But to me, it doesn't matter. She is herself, and that is all I need to know. Oh, you're finished already? I'm sorry, I was in the way. Not to worry, my dear. They miss nothing of note, and we still have plenty of work for them to observe. Next, we will head east to the Morning Dew. I need to speak with some observers there.
Amazing, is it not? The Ampelos, one of our newest subjects. So, how are we coming along?
This place is Elpis. Those flowers. Elpis. Entelekis. Like me.
They are a product of Elpis, and so named for their birthplace. A happy accident, born of the hands of a former researcher who loved beautiful blossoms. Unique for how they change color, to reflect the emotional state of those nearby. Though be it here or elsewhere, they are seldom seen in any hue save purest white.
Reflect the emotional state, you say? By what means do they achieve this?
In creation, there exists an energy wholly apart from ether, one driven by emotions. In like manner to how we manipulate ether, this flower is subject to the influence of said energy. While it has no will of its own, it is sensitive to the prevailing emotion in the vicinity, and reacts by altering its color and vibrancy.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
Akasha. Though I'm not familiar with the term, your description suggests it is the self-same energy. Dynamis, we call it. And those entities like the Elpis flower that have the ability to interact with this energy, converting emotions into tangible phenomena, are Antelekis.
That's me! That's me! An Enteleki!
That you are, my dear. And no ordinary one at that, but the first possessed of free will.
Wait. A form of energy other than ether? Dynamis? I've never heard of such a thing.
Hardly surprising. Dynamis cannot be seen, much less felt. And though its existence has long been theorized, we had no proof until the flower's serendipitous creation. What's more, Dynamis is far weaker than ether. Under normal circumstances, its effects are drowned out by the latter. On account of which, beings comprised of and reliant upon the ether, like you and I, are unable to make practical use of Dynamis. 'Tis a truly esoteric thing, known to but a select few scholars.
Intriguing. Then, given the limitations you described, why create Meteon?
Our star, Aetheris, is especially rich in ether, so much so that its name is derived from it. However, when we consider all energy in existence here and in the vast space beyond, Dynamis may account for as much as 68.3%. The more abundant form by far. Were we able to control it, we could open the door to limitless possibilities. 'Tis not unlike a gently flowing stream, unable to break through the dam of ether barring its path. But if we could imbue this stream with the vigor of a raging river... Not that I have such grand ambitions. Nay. I merely wish to create a being that could traverse the great expanse. The relative scarcity of ether beyond the bounds of this star was a concern. And so, I looked to another source of energy by necessity.
That being Dynamis. No wonder her ether is so thin.
Precisely.
Yours is thin too. Like an Enteleki. Like me. So... are we the same? Entelekis.
I think not. Your nature remains a mystery, but ere I reinforced you, you appeared to be little more than a common familiar, and a faded one at that.
A deficit of ether alone does not an Entelechy make. It would, however, make it easier for you to interact with Dynamis. And limited though its influence may be, this quality could prove the difference between victory and defeat. You do well not to underestimate it. Oh dear. I'd forgotten about the poor fellow. You must excuse me a moment while I go and verify a few more things.
Not that I or anyone else would be able to make use of it even if we knew, but it irks me to discover that there is an entirely different form of energy, and no one told me. That personal annoyance aside, Hermes' knowledge is undeniably impressive. Given that there are none among the 14 who specialize in the Celestial, he would be a welcome addition. Assuming he could be persuaded to join, that is. I still can't understand his hesitation. Why did you join the convocation? Oh, you wish to know why Emma Silk was chosen for the convocation? I should be glad to share the tale. It began when... Not another word. Lest you've forgotten, we're to learn about Hermes, not me. My misspent youth is not your concern. My apologies for the wait. I have inspected the Ampulos to my satisfaction. All is well with the creature, and I dare say it won't be long ere it is released onto the world. Another creation, however, reportedly isn't faring so well. The Charybdis. That is what we shall tend to next. If you will follow me, my friends, we will return to the main island and head north. I understand there is a problem with one of the Charybdis. Yes, that's right. As you know, the Charybdis is based on a sea creature. Owing to adjustments to enhance its affinity to wind, it is capable of flight. The specimens created from the concept could all fly without issue, but a problem arose in subsequent generations. This third generation creature was born with an etheric balance leaning strongly towards water. Its aquatic origin reasserting itself, it would seem. The result being its affinity to wind is diminished and it cannot fly. No matter what we try, we can't get it to rise even the slightest bit. For such change to manifest itself a few generations, I fear they are too unstable, flawed. With your permission, I will revert the creatures and recommend to the Bureau that the concept be revised. With its etheric balance leaning towards water, the Charybdis with a deep struggle to manipulate wind, it is too early to conclude that it cannot fly. Having failed at first, it may simply have developed a fear. I shall transform and fly with it, helping it to manipulate wind until it finds its wings. What? You needn't go to such lengths. You don't know, but of course not. Transformation is an art in which one manipulates a vast quantity of ether to construct another body around oneself. In practice, this allows one to assume any conceivable form, and thereby transcend the limits of one's flesh. Yet, convenient though it may be, transforming in the presence of others is considered vainglorious in the extreme, as uncouth and unseemly as running about robless. Shameful! Am I to understand you make a habit of this? Nothing of the sort. It's just that when transformed, I can wield the wind and fly. It may seem excessive, but what is our shame next to the lives of these creatures? They deserve a chance, and we owe it to them to do all in our power. Be that as it may. Yes, I believe I have a solution. Emmett Silk, may I trouble you to move that Charybdis away from his fellows, somewhere out of sight? Meanwhile, I'd like the rest of you to help me prepare here. What mischief are you scheming now? No mischief, I assure you. I would but spare you the need to report to your colleagues that Hermes committed an indiscretion. So have a little faith and run along. I trust you don't mind. Emmett Silk is out of sight? Good, let's speak of the plan. It's a stroke of genius, really. We have Emmett Silk trained the Charybdis. Aside from being able to fly untransformed, he can readily see ether currents, and with his adept spellcraft, he can also employ suitable wind magics to guide the creature along. While he is indeed capable of all you described, it is not his duty. I am loath to trouble him with it. Don't be. As I mentioned, it would also be for his own sake. For that settled, let's begin at once. Yami, I want you to go to Emmett Silk. Tell him that you have a favor to ask. He will be disinclined to cooperate at first, but you mustn't be discouraged. With our friend, the trick is to be unflaggingly persistent. Off you go now, and good luck. With a chat mode and say, I have a favor to ask. Okay. Oh, no, you don't. I'm not lifting a favor. I don't know what Hythlodaeus is up to, and I will not be made to know. I refuse.
No, no, no. You are not foisting this nonsense on me.
I'm given to understand you have the power to help the Charybdis, and should be quite willing to do so. And so I appeal to your better nature, most benevolent Emmett Silk. Please teach it to fly.
Or else Hermes will transform. Right now.
Now, there's no need to go quite that far. Altruism is its own reward, as I'm sure he would agree.
Oh, would he now? And who contrived to put me in this position, pray tell?
Nothing so devious. I merely suggested a possible course of action.
Please, Emmett Sulk. Please.
Defeated.
I did not come all this way to play nursemaid to your creations. I'd thank you to remember this favor and let it be the last.
Is that the Dark Knight? Bleh. And the Dark Knight
I
mount
will aid it
from
once it is
the
taken to the
Shadowbringers?
air. It falls to you to shepherd it skyward.
Well, let's relax and enjoy the spectacle, shall we? You were wondering why Emmett Selk joined the convocation. Truth be told, he wasn't the first choice for the office. I was, on the strength of my ability to see ether. But I declined the offer. For though my vision is exceptional, I am pedestrian in all other aspects. Worse even. Quite abysmal when it comes to manipulating ether, for example. Couldn't transform even if I had a mind to do so. What good is the ability to perceive a problem if one cannot act to address it? Emmett Selk has no such shortcomings. He excels in vision and manipulation both, the latter to an extraordinary degree. If there is a mage more powerful, I do not know of them. Thus did I recommend him for the office in my stead. And I wasn't the only one. Far from it. Countless others vouched for his skill and character. People the world over, to whom he had previously lent a helping hand. Oh, how surprised he was. Claimed he hadn't done anything remarkable for anyone. Modest to a fault. He deserved every bit of acclaim he received. Yet he may well have gone unappreciated were it not for a singular soul who can't help but involve himself in the business of others. Where he walks, excitement is certain to follow. His antics irritate Emmett Selk to no end. But much of his grumbling stems from genuine concern. When our friend calls, he never fails to answer and lend his talents. And in the course of doing so, he himself came to be recognized and respected by those around him. They are truly remarkable individuals, and I'm proud to call them friends. To help them realize their dreams. This will be my greatest contribution to our world. And when they have fulfilled their respective purposes, so too shall I have fulfilled mine, and together we may return to the star. Look at me, spilling my innermost secrets. I can't seem to help it with you. I can only assume it is due to the color of your soul. I just don't understand how you can be so alike and yet so different.
Well done, my pet. Well done!
Ah, yes. I dare say the Charybdis will be fine here on. Why don't you go and signal to Emmett Selk? Let him know that his arduous task is at an end.
Not what I wanted. Emerging from his reverie, Emmett Selk notices you and begins to descend with the Charybdis. I have no words to express my gratitude. Thanks to you, the Charybdis has learned to fly. And Yami and I could relax and have a pleasant chat. I'm sure you did. The creature needed some small assistance at first, but soon it was flying more or less on its own. I doubt you will need to repeat the lesson. That was truly impressive. I witnessed it all from afar. The Charybdis flies. Indeed, with this, we've proven that even a creature with skewed etheric balance is capable of flight. Though we helped it to achieve this, the Charybdis is a herd animal. They may well aid the struggling kin in like fashion, if and when the need arises. Keeping this in mind, I bid you continue observing them, if that is what you want. But if I may say so, rather than hoping an idealistic possibility comes to pass, would it not be simpler to have the concept adjusted? That way we could guarantee that anomalies such as this specimen are never born in the first place. These creatures are already here. We will spare no effort in giving them a chance to survive. As you wish, Chief, as you wish. Hermes. I'm fine, don't worry. Well, that concludes all of my present tasks. Let us return to Agnorisis for now. What? Want to apologize for forcing me to help, do you? Save your breath. You didn't force me to do anything. I merely chose the most expeditious way to have done with an impediment to our business. Tell me, Yami, in the course of watching me, have you learned aught of value? Dynamis seemed promising. Dynamis, you say? Curious that such an obscure phenomenon should be of interest to you. Chief Hermes, what good fortune to find you here. Is something the matter? The Lycaon. I'm afraid it's done it again. No sooner did we release one for observation that I set upon the nearby Ocupites, slaughtering them. Was the creature hungry, or somehow provoked? I had just fed them myself, and the Ocupites were keeping a wide berth. It is the nature of the Lycaon that is to blame, their innate viciousness. Temperament aside, it is an outstanding creation, perfect in form and function. Though it may not be suited for release, I have no doubt that the Bureau will accept this concept for preservation. In any case, there's no point in postponing the inevitable. Doris will avert them all once the paperwork is in order. Where is the scene of the incident? Just off the path to the 12 Wonders. As you make your way, you should see it on the left. I don't know if Doris is still there, though, however. Hermes, wait! If this is part of his work, then I would observe. We follow. Oh, I don't believe we've met. As much as I would like to engage in more meaningful conversation, I am actually in the midst of searching for someone. It's my mentor who taught me practically everything I know. Now she has relinquished her role and is ready to make her final journey. But before she does, there is an important matter I must convey to her. The last concept in her care, a beautiful winged creature, has been approved for life on Atheris. Please, will you help me look for her? There's a strong chance you will find her at Philomathus Notos. Her most distinguished feature is her chestnut-colored hair tied into a single flowing lock, much like a rhinoceros's tail. Oh my, aren't you adorable? Actually, there's something you might be able to help me with. A visitor from the Bureau of the Architect has arrived at Propylaeon to deliver new concepts. I would like you to offer her the warmest of welcomes. Normally we'd have our own familiars to tend to such duties, but most of them are already entertaining other guests. There's been rather a lot lately, you see. On the other hand, this would be the perfect opportunity to show her an entirely new and, what's a nice way to put this? Idiosyncratic familiar. That being you, of course. I'm sure she'd be delighted to meet you. A familiar come to observe us observers, are you? By what are you called? Yami, you say. 'Tis a fine name. I am Phaedus, a researcher here at Agnorisis. We are currently preparing a section of this isle for a new creation. For this, we need to expel those creatures that inhabit said area, that they'll not interfere with our tests. The simplest way to do so is to have the Ampilos sneeze. The explosive noise never fails to send nearby critters fleeing. We are just about to tend to this task, but seeing as you are here, how would you like to give it a try? I knew you would be keen to look at you. 'Tis plain you are an inquisitive sort of familiar. Now then, my beastkeeper colleague is already on site to the northeast of here. Seek him out and he will tell you what to do. Ah, no, it's a multi-step! Welcome, friend, to Agnorisis. I am Sophocles, and I manage this region under the authority of Chief Hermes, the head overseer of Elpis. And you are, oh, how unusual, a soul-bearing familiar. A familiar must have a mission, and yet you offer no message and carry no cargo. Are you perhaps here for the purposes of observation? Yes, that must be it, in which case you need only mention my name to Charmian, and she will gladly give you a tour of our domain. Soak it all in. A familiar, and all alone, I see. And look how thin you are. If your remaining ether were to be exhausted, you simply fade from existence, and we wouldn't want that, now would we? I suggest you visit the Morning Dew. You'll find the wind blowing in from Lith most invigorating. Perhaps while you're there, you might seek out a friend of mine, and invite him to share a meal with me. If it's not too much to ask, that is. And with that, I think I'm going to wrap up the live stream here for today. I do apologize for the amount of times my live stream has crashed today. I don't know what's going on. But honestly, the real reason why I'm wanting to end the live stream early today is because I'm exhausted. I am tired. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the live stream, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out Mother Roy's DeviantArt page by clicking the link in the description below. To achieve your dream of being my Gaka Picture to you won't be disappointed. And of course, don't forget to click that little bell button if you wish to be notified whenever I upload a video or a live stream to my channel. And most importantly, if you wish to see the Let's Play done, you can do so by checking out my playlist section. All my videos are there archived for your viewing entertainment, so you can watch Let's Plays like Final Fantasy VII Remake, Batman Arkham Knight, Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, and many, many more. Thank you all for watching. As always, hosting my Shadow Sing Along Z, and I'll see you for the next adventure. Goodbye, everyone!